What's happening, everybody? Sorry, this episode will not be probably nearly as fun as the last one. I guess I kind of forgot that the game started 12:30 today, so I have to kind of get on this quickly, go through everything quickly. Gonna be a little bit of an expedited type picks for the week, but it is important to do my picks, and the reasons why is that's why I promised the league at the beginning of the year. About 11:51 right now, so I got to hop into it as we speak. So we will go. Number one, we have myself against Dutch Oven. This is the battle for the most points in the league, which I also believe is basically a $50 game at this point. I'm going to take myself to win, but nonetheless, use that one for you, Eric. We are going to have a great game. I think these are the two best teams in the league. If we have the most points, that's probably a fact. But Scott's team's very strong. My team's very strong. I just made a last-minute change and substituted Boykin in for Harry Douglas. A couple reasons why. One, I think Atlanta possibly stays with Buffalo, maybe even beats them, so they're not going to have to throw the ball a whole bunch. One. Two, they're playing at Buffalo. Going to be cold. Going to be windy. Not going to look good as far as a throwing standpoint. I look over at Boykin, and it was just announced that one of the Lions' cornerbacks is going to be sitting out for the day. So that means the nickel corner rotates over. That means the dime corner will probably be on Boykin. Maybe the nickel or dime. It's just kind of depending on how they set it up. But I like that matchup. And I also like the Lions to put up a lot of points today with Calvin Johnson. With those two players playing for me right away at 12:30, I'm going to have a very good insight on how the rest of my week's going to go. I also have Le'Veon Bell playing tonight. Almost subbed him out for Danny Woodhead via the Ryan Matthews hamstring injury, but I can't chance it. That's the problem with such a big game at this particular week because there's 3 Thursday games. Some players are playing, some players are not. So I have 3 people going today. Very important day for me, and I think I'm going to have a lot of good totals between the Green Bay and Detroit game. LaShawn McCoy, very healthy against Arizona. Forte looking strong against Minnesota. My quarterback position was a little bit tougher as well, though, as I do have Ryan against Buffalo, again a windy possible situation. Wilson against New Orleans, tough defense, or Kaepernick against St. Louis. I just don't trust him enough. I won with him last week. Don't know if I can do it this week. Look over at Scott's team. Now Denver plays Kansas City this week. Could be a difficult matchup for some of those wide receivers. They are known for their defense. Demaryius Thomas playing against them, possibly maybe not a lot of points. Antonio Brown against Baltimore this evening. Again, at Baltimore, probably kind of cruddy weather. Baltimore has a decent pass defense overall. And then on top of that, Cam Newton's going against Tampa Bay this week. Tampa Bay, underrated defense. You're welcome again, Eric, for that. And who else? Derek Namerta, maybe, I think is also a Tampa fan. So maybe a little bit of underrated defense. For those reasons, I'm going to go with myself for the victory. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll say 10 or less points. But I will also almost guarantee that we will be the 2 highest scoring teams, similar to myself and Duke last week. In our next game, we have Unnecessary Fisting and the Prodigy. Doug has to win this game to have a chance to even get into the playoffs. Andy, the game doesn't matter for him as much. It does a little bit. He could be the 1 or 2 seed. I don't think he wants to play me second round, according to what he's saying. I do believe he has a better chance to beat maybe a Dustin, Jason type combo, depending on who gets in. I think he agrees. So I think Andy will still be trying hard. He is starting a full good lineup. I was happy to see that. Dallas plays Oakland this week. Oakland has, I think, the 4th or 5th ranked worst pass defense in the league. Bush against Green Bay has a decent amount of chance to go off. Marshall against Minnesota. Marshall has been playing strong no matter what. Minnesota, horrible defense. The portion I think is going to hurt him a little bit more, he is starting Tavon Austin. Had a great few weeks, however, he's playing San Francisco this week. So don't like that matchup nearly as much. Don't think he's going to get that big point jump because of that. On top of that, Lamar Miller against the Jets, the best run defense in the league. So a lot of questionable type decisions he has in right now. Maybe he subs those people out. Maybe he doesn't. Julius Thomas, limited participant in practice this week. He could possibly be put in instead of Austin, instead of Gonzalez. Not sure if he wants to do that or not. It also depends on his health, obviously. Looking over at Doug's team, looking for a big bounce-back week with Washington. Basically, their full offense against the Giants, which I think is also very possible. He does have Eddie Lacy playing today for the Packers against Detroit. Probably going to be a lot of holes there. And, yeah, I think I'm going to take the Prodigy in the upset. I'm going to take Doug. He's not projected to win according to the points, but I do like his matchups better overall, even though I do think Dallas has a big game. Pulling the upset, possibly sneaking into the playoffs. Andy, he might end up getting the number 1 seed still. I don't know how the rest of my picks are going yet, so good luck on that one. And week 3, we have the game 3, Rectal Renegades against the Final Ansa. I will be picking Jason. This will be a blowout, probably the biggest blowout of the week. Mike's pretty much given up for the year. He knows that. He understands it. Preparing for the future, though. Even though, looking again at the matchup side of things, Jason does have tough matchups. He has players against the Jets, Tampa Bay, Kansas City, New Orleans, Seattle. Probably the toughest, and Cleveland actually, probably the toughest round overall for Jason, so he's probably pretty happy he's playing somebody of Mike Samuel's capabilities. Mike does have the Indy combo of DB and DHB going against Tennessee, Ingram against Seattle. I mean, I guess he has some tough defenses he's going against at the same point, but I like Jason, and I like Mike to start even preparing more for next year. In Game 4, this is going to be the game of the week between Derek L. and Eric H. Vinegar Strokes, may the sports be with you. Derek L. chipped in a little bit of trash talk this week. Thank you. Congratulations. You stepped up. I gave you a D- now for that. And it looks like you have actually fielded a very good starting team. I don't see any random injuries, some limited participation practices or DNPs. Looks like everyone's playing, though, right now. Eric's still projected to win. That portion does not matter. He did have Antonio Gates not practicing today. Jennings looks like he might share some carries with McFadden but still be the lead back. That could hurt some of his points. I don't think McFadden steals a lot because Jennings has been playing good. Something to keep an eye on. Good matchups on both sides of things. Derek Lehman is going against defenses such as Houston, Jacksonville, San Diego, Green Bay, Chicago, St. Louis. I mean, he's going against some defenses that aren't that great, but Eric's doing the same thing. I think this is going to be even matchup, an even game. It's just going to be who comes to play this week. I don't know if I should choose this yet. I'm picking Derek L. in the upset, Eric. What do you think about that? Derek L. for the victory. In Game 5, I think I froze almost. The Battle of the Toilet Bowl. Team 10 and I Love Mike Ditka. This is the game that nobody wants to win, as they will go ahead and drop, I believe, into not having as much chance as the number 1 pick.
This holiday season,
however,
enjoy all the NFL action with
I don't
better
know what's
sound.
happening right now.
The Bose Cinemate 1.
Okay, no, and we're back. Derek L. No, not Derek L. Sorry, pause. Oh yeah, I Love My Dick on Team 10. Whoever wins this will not have as good a chance at the number 1 pick. Still will have a very good chance overall, no matter what way you look at it. Team 10, because of how they have rebuilt their roster, I'm going to take him in possibly the second biggest blow of the week. Actually, they might be first. Strong team. I like his team now. Tate's getting more carries depending on how his ribs are. Wright and Walker have really stepped up for Tennessee. And then his Smith-Allen combo they got in our trade has played, one of them's basically played lights out each week since then. So I like him. I like the team. They're going to win. On the bright side for Derek Naberta, I only see 3 projected zeros this week from Austin Pettis, Merlin Brown, and Kyle Rudolph. However, everybody may actually play this week, besides Kyle Rudolph possibly. So thank you, Derek N., for contributing a full possible roster for the week. And good luck next year. Sayonara. And in our last actually big game of the week, Pierce Brosnan and Duke. I'm going to take Duke in this upset as well because Derek does have a stronger team than Dustin. Dustin has just gotten very lucky as far as the schedule has gone. The only variable is Zach Stacy didn't practice for Derek, I believe yesterday yesterday he didn't practice. However, he is working through that concussion protocol. It sounds like he's going to get some limited time in, and hopefully for the Rams get in this week. Something you definitely want to look at though, because if he doesn't pass this week, basically there's no point of even having him on your team anymore. On the other side of things, Ryan Matthews also is not practicing. So this could be a last-minute sub-in for Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. So take a look at that. But the reason why I'm taking Derek is because I think Brady's found his stroke a little bit more. Andre Johnson's going to get a ton of passes as Houston's playing New England. New England's going to blow them out. Bolden against St. Louis. Bolden's going to be a specialized type receiver, get a lot of catches there. And then also Kansas City, I think, is playing from behind in Denver. Could be looking Dwayne Bowe's way quite a bit. So that's the reasons why. Reasons why not picking Dustin. We had Moreno, who didn't practice, Gore on limited practice. So they are both hurting. Two of his bigger players going into the week. He has Breeze against Seattle. Toughest defensive matchup you can find. Moreno, as I stated, if he does play against Kansas City, about the second toughest defensive matchup you can find. Again, Sproles against Seattle as well. The only variable for him mainly is his Giants players. They play Washington. We all know horrible defense. So if Cruz and Randall can go off, along with Nelson getting lots of catches this week because the starting cornerbacks are hurting for Detroit, Dustin could hang in there. Picking Derek, though, for the victory in my last full picks of the week before the playoffs start. So that's about it as far as my picks go. We've been talking quite a bit throughout the week as far as any recaps. I think we're all on the same page with it all. I also asked everybody to kind of rededicate themselves to the league for next year. Reason why, because I have multiple people who have asked me to be on this. Mike Samuels has had people ask him. I know of my brothers have as well. So a lot of people want to be in it. If you don't feel like you have the time, it's too much for you, blah, 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 whatever. You know who I'm probably talking to out of this. Definitely just let us know if you can't do it. So, appreciate it, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Good luck today. And I don't even know who's playing today. I can't cheer for Detroit or Green Bay. I'll say go Pittsburgh tonight. And Oakland as well, even though they probably are not going to win. So, sayonara.